Hello my friends, a very interesting and kaboom situation we have in Crimea. Just yesterday Ukrainian military intelligence launched a big strike on those bridges which Russia continued to build. I mean pontoon bridges in parallel with the main Crimean bridges which were kaboomed already. Plus kabooms were reported in the Kerch part of peninsula. But anyways, let's start from this one. Let's watch this video presented to us by Ukrainian GUR military. So here you see, this is a truck that is passing the bridge, pontoon bridge, and it was hit by the drone. And you see, it is a green one, Russian military, but there could be different tracks, you see. And this is the KAMAZ, one more KAMAZ, this one is blue, and they are moving again and again. So Russia figured out to put those pontoon bridges, but they slow down the speed of those vehicles. They also create traffic jams, and Ukraine adds more. So just imagine, now they have kaboomed trucks on the pontoon bridge, and they cannot use it any longer. I guess it's the main Chongar bridge, and you see it was damaged. The part of the construction is lying or waving down. What I'm also surprised is about the quality of those images. So the cameras, they're becoming better, and the signal itself. Such a great picture quality, but sometimes you have some of the artifacts, like the blurry image here below. Well, here, yeah, the signal connection was impaired, but later on in general restored. Here you see one more Russian truck. It was already kaboomed, you see, from behind. One of the Russian soldier works as the air defense system, but it is useless. And the drone just finishes the job with the vehicle. Very interesting. And this is the refueling truck. It was kaboomed. One more army supply truck in the convoy, by the way. And again, lots of the kabooms. One more vehicle. And one more vehicle. KAMAZ and Russian UAZ military vehicle too. Russians are running away. He even took belongings. Oh my god. And you see, it is a zoom camera, so the distance is half a kilometer. Yeah, it's kind of far away. Probably drones now have the block of the cameras, or at least two. One is the zoom camera, the other one is the wide angle lens, and it gives all of the information to the drone operator. So our guys may zoom in to the target, in particular define whether it's the civilian truck or not, and the resolution, the image quality, is just outstanding. And I'm shocked, not just about the quality of the picture, but the way how it was transmitted to Ukrainian controlled territory, to our headquarters, to Ukrainian drone operators. So not just the connection is wireless and it allows Ukraine to operate at the far distance, but also the data that is processed live without latency. It is definitely outstanding, guys. That really allows Ukraine to perform those operations very successfully, precisely, and for us to witness those fantastic videos. The files themselves are big. Oh, you see? The zoom camera switched to closer perspective. And here we see, yeah, the zoom. Yeah, I was wondering why the camera was approaching, then we are at the distance again, then approaching, and again. Well, that's the zoom thing. And here we have, so go in, and kaboom. Fantastic. 7,000 meters. Yeah, here's the local tree line, and the object has been spotted. It's very nice that we have those numbers. The idea to get the distance to the target. One more Ural truck was kaboomed, and yeah, oh yeah, this is the bridge itself. Just look at it, guys. Probably this truck was kaboomed there before, we saw in the previous images, and this is the Chongar bridge, which is disabled. There are some of the holes. Well, you can go through, I think, on a motorcycle or maybe on a bicycle, but not on a truck. So Russians put the pontoon bridge, and here we have it. Nice. Probably the other vehicle was kaboomed right on the pontoon bridge, as we saw before. And yeah, this is outstanding. Ukrainian military intelligence, they know their job. So the question is whether Russia is able to shut down all of those drones. The answer is no. Another question is whether Russia has the same drones with the same cameras and systems. No. So for Ukraine, in a way, it could be a game changer. Those middle-range drones that are demolishing Russian logistics, yeah, those drones alone will not help Ukraine to win the war. There is no a single Wunderwaffe that is so decisive. But in combination with other weaponry and tactical plus strategic view of Ukrainian military command, Ukraine may get an upper hand on the front lines. Well, Ukraine is already having it in some of the directions, some of the spots, Zaporizhia, Dnipropetrovsk, but it could be even better situation for Ukraine in the future and absolutely disastrous one for Russia, for example, in Crimea. My friends, just a reminder for you, please press like to this video just right now and also subscribe for the channel. It really helps a lot. And if you can, you may support my job on Patreon. The link for it is in the video description right below, or join membership of YouTube channel. My friends, you are making this content possible, you're awesome, and let's continue with the video. And yeah, initially I was correct that Chongar Bridge suffered the damage, the truck was hit together with the Pontoon Bridge, so the connection for Russia is not working. Genichinsk and Armyansk bridges were also paralyzed. Well, in Armyansk there is not such a big bridge as in Chongar, but a small one that goes over the Crimea water channel. And I've told you about the Kerch part of peninsula where the Kerch Bridge is, and yesterday Ukraine visited the local power station. It is also located in a Kerch port. The station was working using oil, and those reservoirs were disabled, so Crimea will turn dark. Already they cut electricity in peninsula, and of course for those Russians who came to Crimea before, it's better to leave for their own safety. And Magyar already publishes the compilation of the drone strike videos, so it happened few hours ago, my friends, yes, and we already have the video. This is just crazy how fast those videos are being published, and here Ukrainian drones visited the Russian military base in occupied Crimea, the Kerch part of peninsula. And let's go and see. Orion drone was hit by Ukrainian drone operators. Orion is the analog of the Bayraktar TB2, something like that. It's smaller than MQ Reaper, but it was hit, you see, by Ukrainian FP1 or FP2 drone. A very fat target, I would say. Also, if you check out the engine of the drone, it is hot. There is the thermal tray, so it was either taxiing or taken off from the runway. And it was kaboomed. So there was the strike, Orion was kaputted, and just to cross-check, the other drone is flying. And definitely there is the fire, so it was nailed down. The other Orion, it seems like, yeah, they tried to hide it under the cover, but it doesn't work like that. And the Orion was kaboomed, the second one. Is it the third one? Maybe. So Russia continued to lose their drones. And the air defense systems, which need air defense systems. Panzer S1, this is a very capable actually system of the Russian Federation. Also they're used against Ukrainian drones, but sometimes they're unable to detect those drones. And you see it was kaboomed by Ukrainian FP1 or FP2. The single system was hit, and definitely it was annihilated a Russian military base in Crimea. Wow, this is S-300 system. This is outstanding. Russia has different modifications. This one on tracks or caterpillars. It was kaboomed. Neba-U, on so many Neba-U raiders out there in Russia, and they are capable actually to detect Ukrainian drones. But the raiders are also good targets for the same drones. Artillery? Oh no, this is AA cannon. Yeah, so Russian air defense definitely needs the air defense. It's like that. Oh, they were there on the top. The vehicle and the air defense. Well, I'm not sure from that video whether it was hit or not. Maybe it was a really precise hit. And the reservoir, you may see, it went on fire. The same thermal power plant that I told you before in Kerch. And you might have the understanding which tank is full, which tank is not, judging on the thermal trace. This one is half full, half empty. And this is the kaboom that was caused by the Ukrainian drone strike, and the facility partially is being disabled. Well, it might work, but it doesn't have the oil or fuel to operate, so it's no go. Plus, there is no variant for Russians to get the new oil or fuel to the station. Simply it's gone. And the local substation was also kaboomed by Magyar bird, so the crisis in Crimea will deteriorate, and locals either they should be ready for the future crisis or they should leave peninsula. Later on we have some of the Russian military bases also in occupied Crimea, the places which were identified by Ukrainian military intelligence as the dugouts for the Russian soldiers, or simply their barracks. So Ukrainian drones visit everything of that. And what is that? Oh, that's the machine vision drone, and it hits some of the reservoir of the train. Oh, that's the Donetsk Oblast already, so occupied eastern Ukraine, and a truck Russian supplies. Of course. Wow, the truck definitely went on fire. This is Zaporizhia region, as they stated. Fantastic. Great operation of Magyar drone unit and Ukrainian drone army in general. I see that some of the job was done by Ukrainian Nemesis group. Yeah, it is outstanding. Russians are not doing even similar to what Ukraine does. Okay, so this lady reports from Kerch, you may see a fire, and it's not just an oil port, another smaller volcano is the local power plant. So she thinks whether we should go back to Russia or no. Well, the answer is behind. Local youth Russian tour. No, that's the Ukrainian drone, FP2 probably. Russian Taurus air defense systems are usually being kaputted by those drones. The fire detection satellites picked up several of the patterns near the Kerch Bridge. That's the oil base which is still burning, plus this power station that was hit. This is some sort of the river crossing, and also one more across the Crimean channel. Alright, and now Ukrainian military officials are saying that the bridge across the North Crimea channel was completely destroyed. So Russia lost the connection via Armyansk, the Chongar bridge is under constant strikes, and also Genichinsk. So the Kerch bridge so far is intact and it plays the key role in supplies of peninsula, but Russia still hesitates to send, for example, trains full of fuel or the large number of the fuel trucks. And here the connection, you understand, what happened here. So the meaning for Crimea, for those occupied territories, is just useless. All of the trucks are being hit on the way, and at the same time the bridges are being hit, and Crimea alone cannot sustain itself. So from this answer that Putin thought he gained occupying Crimea, like the unsinkable air carrier with lots of the military bases, but now it is a bargain. It's like a suitcase without the handle. You cannot drop it because there is something inside, but you cannot carry it comfortably any longer. And the situation is going to get even worse. The suitcase is going to be heavier and heavier. And finally, Putin will not handle it. So Ukraine does a fantastic job cutting all of those connections. And of course, it is done against the Russian military because Crimea used to be a supply hub for the Russian forces, and from Crimea they operated in Kherson, Zaporizhia, partially in Donetsk, but now not any longer. That's why Ukraine has an advantage, for example, in Zaporizhia region. Well, for Kherson, Ukraine should perform the landing operation to be successful. We'll see how it goes. I wonder if Ukraine is planning that. I think yes. At least in Kimbersky Spit, I'm sure that this operation will be conducted, and I told you about it in my previous video. Well, anyways, now the situation is way better for Ukraine than it was the last year. Fantastic. Yes, it's officially the railway bridge over the North Crimean Canal in Crimea no longer exists. Fantastic. Some of the video from the Russian soldier perspective, his body camera, and he tries to shut down the drone on the way, but the drone managed to get through, so it was flying and it hits probably the vehicle there. It's the first time the gas station, the first time I'm watching it. So Russians, I'm sorry that it's muted because they just put the song there, some of the Russian silly rap song or something. And yeah, that was the vehicle. And the gas station itself, the gas station was hit too. This is the Kamaz truck. It's on fire. The engine got fire. The engine is under the cockpit here. And he takes a fire extinguisher. Will it work? Oh, it works. I'm surprised. Usually they're expired. And he, like, what? The other part of the vehicle was not on fire, just this one. And is it still burning? No, but it was disabled for sure. I'm surprised that a single extinguisher was enough to eliminate this one, but for sure the engine is gone, so the truck is unserviceable. And this is the classical Hornet drone. Ukraine has many of those. Russian Bukhanka van. Well, sometimes you don't know what is inside. It's like a Kinder surprise. And here it was a jackpot for Ukrainian drone operators because just look at that. Those are drones, FPV drones. You see, one on top of another and another. Those coils with fiber optics.
Так, для отчетности.
This is definitely a bullseye strike, so Russian logistics is all about that. Drones, fuel, spare parts, ammunition, food, water, everything is being hit by Ukrainian drones. And I think that in this particular case, the E-points for our drone operators should double. Yeah, you know that there is the special Brave One system introduced by Ukrainian military intelligence, where Ukrainian soldiers accumulate those electronic points and they might use those for the purchases of the equipment, drones and so on. So here it's actually not just a Bukhanka van, it's a very juicy target. Oh, interesting. It seems like the United States of America has already started the supplies of their ARAM missiles to Ukraine. The appearance of debris from components used in these munitions may indicate that experimental batch of ARAM missiles has already been delivered to Ukraine for the combat testing in real conditions and against Russian electronic warfare, even though before it was announced that the start of the delivery of ARAMs was planned or scheduled for October 2026. It's not the direct military support from the United States. The program is being funded by Denmark, Norway and Netherlands. Ukraine may potentially obtain 3,350 missiles for the price of nearly $1 billion. What is interesting that the range of the missile is 930 kilometers and the warhead weight is 225 kilograms, which is outstanding. So Moscow even is within reach. And about those debris, it was shared on the Russian channels with no context, so we are not sure whether missile hit the target or whether it was shot down on the way. And also the place where debris was collected is unknown. By the way, guys, sorry, it was my mistake. Yesterday in Voronezh I told you that it was probably Flamingo FP5 missile, but indeed it was Storm Shadow or Scalp. There were several of those missiles hitting this very important infrastructure, semiconductor facility and electronics factory for the Russian army. 1, 2, 3. 3 of the strikes all done by Storm Shadow or Scalp. This is the child processing plant in Alexeyevka, Belgorod region, which was also targeted this night by Ukraine. The facility is no-go. Russians are shocked that the price for the fuel is now so high, 129 rubles, and it's not the limit, it depends on the Russian region, but in general in Russia fuel prices rose by at least 2 of the times. 2 times? For how long? For the last couple of weeks? And she says, like, from what time have we started to live in Europe? Europe means EU. And she complains about high prices in European markets. Well, Russia, you will surpass that. Russians will see way higher prices in the future if Ukraine continues to do what it does. Okay, there are some of the fights even for benzene. I cannot show you the video here, just not to be restricted, but there was definitely the fight in the queue between drivers. Alright. Alright guys, it's all what I want to say in this video. Stand by for one more update this evening. And my friends, please support my job on Patreon if you can. The link for it is available in the video description right below, or join membership of the channel by pressing button join. Guys, you're making this content possible, so thank you so much. My friends, also don't forget to press like to this video and subscribe for the channel. I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are and have a great time.